Did I really just forget that melody?
No.
When I popped off, then your girl gave me just a little bit of la chop. Baby so cold, he from the north, he from the Canada. Bankroll so low, I got nothing else that I can withdraw. Ran up the door.
Hello, Burleson High School. I'm sick.
And I'm Brooks.
And I'm Aiden. I already said that. And this is Elk News.
The Saturday before Halloween, the Burleson High School Spirit of the Elk Marching Band made history, school history by making area finals for the first time ever in school history.
Why'd you say school history so many times?
Because it's school history.
You said school history.
You're supposed to get hype.
Bro, we're happy.
Does school history count?
It doesn't look like you're happy.
School history count?
We made school history to area finals, and we made 7th, which is still pretty good. We made 7 or 6?
7.
We made 7th. It was still really good.
And we moved up from prelims finals. So
we did. We were in 9th place originally, then we made 7th place in finals, so we went up.
Night. It was really good.
It was great. And then also, it's going to be a Thursday, is going to be the first showing of Theater Productions' fall show, 39 Steps. If you can't make it to that Thursday, don't worry. I'm pretty sure they're doing a 9 o'clock showing that same Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they're all doing showings at 7 and 9. And then Sunday, they have one at 2:30 p.m. So if you can't make it to the first couple, you have all weekend to make it. I'm gonna go. I'm interested in seeing it. It looks good.
I will go as well.
Also in school news,
finally.
This isn't about our school, but it's still really, it's an important
within
achievement.
the community. The Centennial Spartan Regiment Band.
The marching band.
Yes.
Made
tied for 4th.
First of all, they went to state, which is something that no Burleson band's ever done. So really, both Burleson bands made history the last competition.
They did great in prelims.
They did amazing in prelims.
And then did amazing in
finals. Went to finals and made 5th in the state. Tied for 4th. It's very important to emphasize that because technically they didn't make 5th. They tied for 4th.
Yeah.
In the state of Texas.
And they were the smallest band there.
I think only other 32 bands went, right? Was it 32 or
34?
34.
34 bands with the state.
They beat 29 other bands. That sounds right. 29 other bands in their first time in state.
So
being
if you
the
see someone
band,
from the Spartan Regiment,
if you see
congratulate them. Enough about band.
Enough about school
World
news. World news. I don't.
Frozen 2, baby.
Frozen 2 is coming out. What day is that, Brooks?
November 22nd.
He's excited for it.
I looked it up before, so I didn't know it was releasing until this.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's excited about Frozen 2, but I feel like it's just gonna be like that thing where
I think it's gonna be good.
The sequel's never as good as the first.
Aiden, you're just a hater.
I'm not a hater. I mean, I'm not gonna watch it.
Stranger Things, the second one was better. Second season was better than the first.
We're talking about movies, not shows. Seasons can always be better than the shows if they put enough money into it.
True, but
like Zombieland 2 was awful compared to the first movie.
Frozen 2 is gonna be great.
Name one movie that was better than the sequel. Oh, better than the first one.
Toy Story. I don't know. I don't remember the first one.
Toy Story 2 was a good one.
There.
Okay, but that's like a given. Name another one.
Frozen 2.
Anyway, guys, that's all for Elk News this week. I'm Aiden.
I'm Brooks.
I'm Grayson.
That's Grayson. I'll see you next week.
I'm Briggs, and you're watching Elk Sports.
In Lady Elk Volleyball, we took our first playoff win against Eastern Hills 3-0. Good job, ladies.
Round 2, baby. Yes, sir. This week, the Elks take on the Cleburne Yellow Jackets on the road. So make sure you come out, be loud, and support the Elks away on Friday. We had an interview with Harlan Perkins, offensive lineman, about this week's game.
Nation, I'm here with offensive lineman Harlan Perkins. We're going to talk about this week's game against Cleburne High School. Harlan, how do you feel about your opponent this week?
I feel like we have a lot better chance than we did last year. You know, we went in last year with a good offensive line. but this year we came with a better offensive line. You know, everybody's played together. We're like a brotherhood down there than we were last year.
This week is the last game of the year, unfortunately. How do you feel about this year's Elk football team? How did they do?
This year we were a lot closer, I feel like, but we just didn't have the confidence that we needed to beat the teams. You know, once we lost to Centennial, it was just like it kind of went downhill from there. Our defense, obviously, you know, just couldn't hold up sometimes, and offense couldn't get it done, stuff like that. But I feel like the more we go and get closer and closer, you know, the next year's team is going to be better, but we also still have a chance to make playoffs this year. So we never know what's going to happen. All we know is we got to beat Cleveland by a lot this week.
Well, thank you, Harlan, for coming on here. Do you have any last comments you want to say?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, back to Elk Sports.
And now for some highlights that recap this entire football season.
In the MLB, the Washington Nationals won the World Series. That is their first World Series in franchise history. They beat the Astros in 7 games, down 3-2, came back on the road, won both games. Sam, this is the first World Series that every game has been won by the road team.
It's crazy.
That's insane. It was an awesome World Series to watch. Congratulations to the Washington Nationals.
On Monday night, the Dallas Cowboys beat the Giants, obviously. I mean, if you watch the game, you wouldn't think that in the first half, and then Dak Prescott started off the game with an interception. But in the second half, we started to get it going, and yeah, the Cowboys came out with the win.
That's all this week for Elk Sports. I'm Briggs.
I'm Samuel.
And this has been Elk Sports.
I remember when I lost my mind.
Mr. Rudd takes on the world.
Haircut edition.
Everything you're about to see is real. We've challenged Mr. Rudd to take on some of our campus pros in each of their respective areas of expertise. What follows are the sometimes embarrassing results of those challenges.
On this week's episode of Mr. Rudd Takes on the World, we're going to take a stroll down to the cosmetology department and he's going to attempt to cut a student's hair.
Are you okay?
I have considerably less hair than you though, so probably.
Compare their heads, like show Mr. Rudd's hair and show her hair. Show us your hair, Mr. Rudd.
Kinda looks like you're walking up a staircase.
I think it's creative. So this is hard on your back.
Sure.
So how many of you have butchered your fingers? So you've got to really, really have control of all of the parts of your hand.
Are you elevated?
But
That's more so.
I'm hitting the chair though, is the thing.
So do you think that if she did this, it would help you?
Oh, is that why they push my head forward?
Eventually. Go to the thin side of that comb where the teeth are close together.
Okay.
Hold on. Look at the comb. There is a 2-inch symbol on that comb on the thin side.
Really? Do all combs, or is this just yours?
Hair cutting. So turn it this way.
That's kind of awesome.
Put your thumb on the 2 inches.
Oh, looky there.
That's how much more I want you to take.
Yeah.
Off. Is that 2 inches, Mr. Red?
Yeah, looky there. No.
He said no.
All right, I'm gonna start on this one because I already messed up that end. That was my measuring end.
No, that's not the way it works. Is you fix that end and then go across. Gotcha. Oh yeah.
That's too big a piece. Is it called a piece?
Section.
Section. Okay. Thumb in.
Elevation 0.
Elevation 0. Fingers down by the cut mark.
That's elevated right now.
Oh boy.
There you
All right.
Oh boy. How's that looking?
Not real strong.
I love being told.
I'm going to shorter. I don't know if that's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea. Go, Mr. Yes.
All right.
It's not bad, baby. Actually, you'll be quite impressed. Are you ready? Find your face and then your face in the mirror.
Oh, that's not bad.
How'd I do?
Okay, Mr. Rudd.
All right.
Pretty good.
You give them a
Yeah.
hand, lady.
Although Lily was pleased with the final product, one of the cosmetology students had to go in after me and clean up my mess.
I know.
That's funny. Well, we only use the gel on the mannequins, so I wouldn't have been as upset with you.
That's all for this episode of Mr. Rudd Takes on the World.
Thinking outside the box. This episode, color guard.
How long have you been in guard?
I've been in guard for almost 1 year. For almost 2 years. I've been in 2 marching. So.
What grade are you in?
10th.
What did you do in the show?
In the show, I did rifle, saber, cube work, and 2 different types of flags.
How did you like this show compared to last year's show?
This show is a lot more modern than last year because we went for the classical theme last year.
Okay. So what grade are you and how long have you been in color guard?
I'm a senior and I've been in color guard for 3 years.
How did you like the show this year?
I like this show a lot better than the other shows we've had.
So how long have you been in color guard?
Well, I was in it for the spring semester last year. I was in the class all year, I just didn't do marching season. And then I'm just doing it all year this year.
So what grade are you in?
Sophomore.
What was your role in this year's performance?
During the fall?
Yes, the box.
Yeah, I did rifle line and saber and flag.
Okay. How did you like this show compared to last year's?
Yes, it was a lot more fun.
Thank you. How long have you been in guard?
I have been in guard since my sophomore year, so like 3 years.
What grade are you in now?
12.
What was your role in the show?
My role?
Yeah.
In which one?
In each movement in the box.
In the box?
Yeah.
My role, I guess, for first movement, we're all dancing together as a group. And second movement, we break off into cube line and rifle line. And then in the last 2 movements, we all come together in 2 parts of flag. So it's like swing flag and the big 6-foot flag. But we all come together in those parts.
How long have you been in guard?
For a couple months now.
What grade are you in?
9th.
How long have you been in guard?
Since 2nd semester of last year.
What grade are you in?
10th.
What was your role in the show?
Dancer, cube line, swing flag line, and then regular flag.
How did you like this show compared to last year's show?
I was not in last year's show, but I think it was better.
Thank you. So, how long have you been in guard?
This is my first semester.
What grade are you?
I'm in 10th grade, sophomore.
What was your role in this year's show, The Box?
I carried the small boxes, I had swing flags, and I had a second.
How did you like last year's show compared to this year's?
This year's show was a lot cleaner. I think the final product, we spun together a lot more.
How long have you been in guard?
3 years.
What grade are you in?
I'm a senior.
What was your role in the show?
I was on cube line and just flag.
How did you like this show compared to last year's?
It was pretty good, I think. We went Terrio finals, so we've never done that before. Pretty good.
So how long have you been in guard?
4 years.
What grade are you in?
Senior.
What did you do in the show?
Flag, rifle, and saber, and dance.
How did you like the show this year compared to last year's?
I thought it was a lot more energetic and fun and crowd-pleasing.
Thank you. That's it. Okay, how long have you been in guard?
I have been in guard for 2 whole years.
What did you do in this year's show?
Well, in first movement, I was a part of dance. Second, I did cube line. Third, I did dance and swing flag. Fourth, I did flag.
What grade are you in?
I am in 10th grade.
How did you like the show this year?
I actually really liked the show this year. The choreography was entertaining, and compared to last year's, which the design was great, but this year's was definitely better.
How long have you been in color guard?
2 years.
What grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
What was your role in the show?
I was a dance soloist and also a flag spinner.
How did you like this show compared to A Night at the Opera?
I like this show because it was like intricate, more different.